Alright, this is a trident maple which apparently was imported from Japan many years ago into Croatia. They just left it in the pot, they never repotted it, and it was in dreadful condition when Sebastian got it this spring. And he took it out of the old pot and planted it on purpose in a pot which is too big, in very coarse substrate, so that the tree could get new roots and become healthy again. To me, this looks quite healthy. It is a nice variety with small, nice foliage. This tree has a typical Japanese nebari. For some tastes, that's too much. This was in fashion about 10 years ago. Everybody wanted these enormous nebaris, and we paid a lot of money for these. And now the nebari grows and grows, and there's one point where it's just too big. And I'm afraid that this tree has reached that point. Now the trick is that you can actually still make a reasonably good tree of that. Normally, I would always suggest that, well, not always, in most of the cases I would suggest that people make their crowns smaller. Most bonsai people around the world let the crowns grow, and at one point the crown is too big. So my advice usually is always cut back the crown, make it smaller for the tree to look more powerful and more interesting. Okay, for the proportions to get better. So if it's true that you should make usually the crown smaller in order to make your trunk and your whole tree look bigger, then also the opposite must be true. If a tree looks too big, if a nebari looks too big, you make the crown bigger, and then the proportions are right again. So here I would advise to leave that crown, which is slightly too much for normal purposes, but in order to balance the enormous nebari. So I would not probably even cut that much. You could wire this whole thing and make it nicer. I would hesitate to make it look very much like a bonsai. Most of these trident maples are overstyled insofar that they are trained like an enormous pine tree with horizontal branches and layers, and everything looks like a fat pine tree. And I would try to avoid that. Now, simply because it was neglected and people in that nursery didn't do anything, they had no clue what to do, just by itself it turned into a tree again. So I would warn you to take that out again, to flatten these, okay? Don't do that. You can do that on a conifer, but I would not do it on such a tree. So where is the front? Well,
you're not sure yet?
There is several good fronts, probably somewhere here. One possibility is to use this as front, take this out. There's some holes in here. I'm not really worried about these holes. You have to understand that in Japan, everybody looks at these holes and everybody will tell you, you must fill the holes. It's a must in Japan. In Europe, we have developed a different bonsai taste. We look more at natural deciduous trees, at old oaks, which have a lot of holes, and we like that. So I'm not worried about these. Since this is a Japanese tree, you may even follow this Japanese advice. You understand? If it was a European beech, I would probably take the freedom to style it like a European tree. If it's a Japanese tree, there's nothing wrong with following the Japanese advice. So the holes will only be filled if you let this grow freely. So you do nothing, you just let it grow. It looks very untidy, and then the holes will fill. That simply is the trick. Otherwise, it will take decades, many, many years, and will probably never fail. So this is not a bad tree. This is a pretty good one, and there are some people who love this. This is called the Sumo tree, the Sumo style tree. You have to understand that they are getting out of fashion again. They were highly popular 10 years ago, and now they are all of a sudden too fat. Okay.
Okay.
All right.